With me in the studio, we have Zuzanna Lewandowska, co-founder and vice president of the King's Foundation. A foundation that, generally speaking, helps young Poles get high-quality education at the best universities around the world. But before we tell secrets of how to be part of the elite and how the foundation works, tell me, why did you come up with the idea of founding the King's Foundation?
Oh, hello, first of all. I'm very happy to
Hello.
be here. Hi. I really like to, I knew that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur in some sense, and I always had this love for social issues, and I wanted to convey more of my experience to some social benefits. So I knew that I would be a social entrepreneur rather than just a general entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's a difference qualitatively. But I really like what Richard Branson once said about his own ideas. I mean, we know how creative this person is. And he said that every good idea, and I hope my idea, the idea of my foundation, is a good one. And so he said that every good idea comes from some sort of frustration, like some level of frustration, like in the sense that you imagine, you see reality and you ask yourself why things are just that way and not some other way that you believe could be better and more beneficial to people. So I went to one of the very good universities, and my co-founder, Maciek Michalski, did as well. And we remember how really alone we were in the process of applying because there were no system of support in Poland at that time to help young people, process the application and really prepare and get to know, the essence of studying at very good universities beforehand. So we decided to do something about it and change reality, and we started the King's Foundation. So that's basically it.
Imagine me being younger. I'm studying.
You're very young.
Thank you. I'm studying journalism or law at Warsaw University, but my dream is to study at Oxford or Yale. How can the King's Foundation help me, or is it too late? Should I be thinking about this in high school?
Well, it's never too late to improve yourself. I went to Cambridge and I did a postgraduate degree, so I'm also an alumna of University of Warsaw. So it didn't really there was no barrier for me to apply to Cambridge. I mean, there are different levels of studies, and the King's Foundation. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about how we work, so you can understand better how we can.
Yes.
Assist people in the process of applying. So we are based on ambassadorship system, meaning that we have right now over 150 ambassadors. That is current students of top universities at over 23 top schools all around the world. So we have Ivy League schools and 10 of the best UK universities. We have universities in France and Switzerland, Germany, and Singapore. Soon to come, Australia, hopefully. So those people they already study and they specialize in different disciplines. So some of them are undergrads, some of them are postgrads, some of them are doctoral students, and they are all across disciplines. So this allows us to really target the help to people, according to the needs of a person who's applying to the King's Foundation for help. So basically, if you want to study, for example, law at Oxford, good choice. It's a very good school for that, good university for that. We'll be trying to match a person that hopefully is also a student at Oxford and studies law, and so that they can help you better. So that's basically my answer to your question. Basically, never too late. Although we do work, I mean, the majority of people we work with are high school students for sure. Yeah.
You mentioned the ambassadors. Every university that the King's Foundation is working with has got ambassadors that provide help and experience to the foundation pupils. What does the help look like?
All right. So basically, the fundament below the King's Foundation mission is sharing best experience. So we were thinking that there's a reservoir of knowledge, of experience that every person who successfully is accepted to university has in their pocket. But this experience is never utilized. They practically throw it out of the window because why would they stick to it? So we decided to recycle that experience. And the help is basically a process of mentoring and people in preparing the application to a university and preparing through and undergoing the application process overall. So usually when you apply to a very good university, it takes you a little bit more than a year to really prepare, to assemble all the documents, to pass all the necessary exams, and etc. So, for example, it is very difficult for Polish students to understand the importance and the technology behind writing a motivation letter. It is a very specific type of writing, and you really have to sell yourself, which, as I have noticed, Polish people are not very good at, unfortunately, because they're very talented. So we're helping them. We're not writing the application for them, but we mentor those people to improve their documentation in that regard. And usually we try to match more than one ambassador for one person, so there are different points of view and different remarks given to the person applying.
I can imagine that there is a big difference between studying in Poland and the United States, for example.
There is a difference. I mean, there's no difference in the sense that you have to work hard, hopefully, and you have to learn. But the difference is really in the essence. I believe that especially American universities are much more community-based. And one of the values that I really like to repeat that every time I talk to people who are interested in this subject, that one of the greatest values, this is this soft value, you would say, of studying at very good universities, the network that you're in and the connections that you make and the people that influence you. So really getting a different perspective on things through knowledge and through acquiring knowledge, not only in the academic process, but also through interacting with people, is the greatest value of those universities. So it is a different. I mean, I don't want to be really getting into the specifics of the system because every school has a different one, but definitely you have to be very what's the word? Self-sufficient in the sense of really preparing well and working hard. And no cheating.
Okay, so I got my place at Yale. The cost.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have to pay $63,000 a year.
A lot of money.
Can the foundation help me with paying for these studies?
Not for the moment. It is my great dream to build a scholarship scheme at the King's Foundation for people with whom we're working. For the moment, it is impossible because of the way the nonprofit system works in Poland is very difficult to raise money. But hopefully in years to come, we'll be able to do that. However, for the moment, what we can do is help find financial assistance abroad. Most of the ambassadors who work with us, they receive financial aid. And most of the students in America receive financial aid. It is only a marginal percentage of people who are just get paid for it. I mean, their parents pay for their studies. So it is a natural thing to be seeking financial assistance abroad. And what is maybe not well known to people in Poland is that you do this, pancake way of collecting money. So you don't receive one scholarship that covers the overall, expenditures. But you get little grants from many different places, and it is a very tedious process to apply, but it is doable. So I always say financial problems it is an issue. It's very hard to find money, but it is only a secondary problem because the first problem is to make a decision to give it a try. And that's why we work at the King's Foundation with young people at high schools and many other young people in Poland to really encourage them to go this extra mile, to empower them in sense of self-belief and self-confidence to just give it a try.
Do you have any figures which show how many Polish students the foundation helped to get a place at the most prestigious universities?
Well, we're currently working with over 100 people. But as I mentioned, the process of applying to university is a lengthy one. So since we've been working for over a year now, we have successfully helped 15 people to apply to get to very good universities in our network. So this is, I think, a very good result. Take the length, how how much it takes, how much time it takes to
Congratulations.
Thanks.
The King's Foundation...
And it's not enough.
No. Yeah, this is my last question. The King's Foundation is a very young one. How do you see yourself in the next 5 and 10 years?
Good question, and I like to answer it very much. So thanks. We have founded the King's Foundation not as a short-term project. We want the King's Foundation to be established within the social conscience in Poland as the to-go organization to really assist people in applying to very good schools, and I think we're getting there slowly but steadily. People whom we're helping today will become our ambassadors in the future. So we're constantly building a network, an ever-growing group, a network of young people who enjoy sharing experience.
I mean, this network is very big. I saw it on your web page, like more than 150 people.
It's going to get bigger, but you have to remember that at some point our current ambassadors will leave schools, so we'll have to replace them with new people. Because the value of the work we provide is that our ambassadors are at the very university right now. So they have this up-to-date knowledge about academic programs and about all the specificity, the inside knowledge about studying at a school. And also they can help a person who's coming in, a freshman. They can welcome them at the university and show them about. So that's a great value of what we do, I hope.
Zuzanna Lewandowska, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.